In this video, I'm going to dig into the new flagship product from Widex. It's called Widex Allure. It's the product that I'm wearing right now, and I've spent the last couple of weeks wearing this hearing aid in a bunch of different contexts. I even went to a concert recently to try out the new music features, and I'm going to take you through all of that experience along with some of the key features that you need to know about Widex Allure. If we have not yet met, my name is Blake Cadwell. I'm the co-founder at Soundly.com. We're one of the leading online destinations for hearing health shopping and research in the United States. If you like what you see in this video, I'd appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It helps us reach more people. With that, let's dig in. Okay, so before we go in depth on Widex Allure and talk about the app, the sound quality, some of the things that I noticed in various contexts as I was listening through these hearing aids, let's just take a step back and talk about this brand more broadly. There are very few brands in the hearing health space that elicit more of a response than Widex. For a number of different reasons, Widex has one of the most die-hard fan bases of any brand in the hearing health space. My mom actually wore Widex for over 2 decades because she just fell in love with the way the product sounds. And one of the key reasons for that is that Widex uses a pretty different philosophy in how they process sound. Most hearing aids are really focused on how to minimize background noise. They add layers of features to manage every different type of sound profile and re-engineer the sound before it heads into your ear canals. But Widex really takes a different approach, and they're focused almost entirely on simplicity and speed. So what Widex cares about more than anything else is how fast the sound from the outside world makes it into your ear canals. So essentially, they're sending sound from outside through the system inside of their hearing aids, through this little wire, through the speaker and into your ear canals. And as of today, they're doing all of that usually 10 times faster than their nearest competitor. Now, other hearing aid makers on the market would say that gap in time is imperceptible to most human ears. But for Widex wearers who have worn the product for many years, they would say differently, this speed really matters to them. So that's sort of the foundation to understand about Widex, and it's something they've definitely kept alive with the Widex Allure. They've not made any compromises on speed, which is a really important thing to note as we talk about a fully rebuilt platform and a fully rebuilt product. So a little bit more background before we talk about Allure. A couple of years ago, Widex released a flagship called the Widex SmartRic. It was actually one of the most unique products on the market in that it had this L shape in the product itself that apparently helped with the acoustics of sort of pointing towards what you were looking at. They took a bit of a risk here, and if you go back and watch my original review of the Widex SmartRic, it's a risk that I appreciate. It's rare to see folks really pushing the boundaries when it comes to hardware, and they tried something out. But that said, 2 years later, we're back to a traditional receiver and canal format. This looks a whole lot like the Widex Moment, which was out a couple of years ago. So they've moved back to a traditional receiver and canal format, but they've rebuilt everything inside of this device, including a new processing chip, a new way of managing sounds, and of course, a new way of keeping that speed really, really fast. All right, so let's dig into some of the basics. If you're a Widex wearer or you're interested in this product, you're almost certainly going to end up with a hearing aid that looks something like this. It's a receiver and canal device, has a nice push button on the back, which can control programs and volume. And then of course it has that wire that goes up over the ear. Sound plays into the ear canal. You'll also get a recharge dock, which interestingly has to be plugged in order to actually dispense charge. So it does not have a portable battery inside of this device. It's a little bit of a setback for this product compared to others in the market. If you look at something like the Signia Pure Charge and Go, it has a sleek, almost AirPods style case that you can carry around with you and holds power for multiple days on end. In this case, you'll need to return your hearing aids to your bedside or your office or wherever you charge them each day in order to recharge them. Now, the devices themselves have somewhere between 18 and 20 hours of daily use, and they stream Bluetooth using the MFI and ASHA protocols with either iPhone or Android. They do have rebuilt Bluetooth low energy functionality, but some of that is not turned on based on where Apple's at in their migration to Bluetooth low energy audio. Just like previous generations of Widex hearing aids, the Allure has an IP68 rating, which means you could put it underwater a meter deep for about 30 minutes and it would not be impacted. Now, like with any hearing aid, we don't recommend you swim laps in the product, but you can certainly get it wet, get into the shower on accident, get rainwater on it, or swim in a pool without submerging, which is something that I did as I was reviewing this product. As with most prescription devices, you can work with your local clinician to get a variety of different colors to match your hair or your preferences. And the Widex Allure hearing aid can match a mild all the way up to a severe hearing loss if you work with your local professional. Now, it's worth noting, if you're not familiar with Widex or you're just getting a feel for the landscape of hearing health, this is a prescription hearing aid. So you cannot purchase this directly online and program it yourself like some of the leading OTC hearing aids on the market. Instead, you need to go to a local clinic, they'll test your hearing, and they'll dispense the hearing devices. All right, so at this point in the video, if you're familiar with Widex or the hearing health landscape in general, you'll notice that there's not a lot of big news here. The form factor has returned to its older state. It's a rechargeable hearing aid. It has Bluetooth streaming for iPhone and Android. This is all standard fare for a leading prescription hearing aid in 2025. But what Widex has really changed is all on the inside of the device. So let's dig into that. I'll talk about some of the big changes that they've made, and then I'll talk about my own experience and what I'm actually noticing with these new updates. So the most important change that Widex made was actually to the chip itself. Inside of their devices, they put in a new chip that is 4 times faster. And what that essentially allows them to do is keep the speed of delivery, which is their top priority, while also adding some basic sound management. So in past generations of Widex, you basically had almost everything just coming straight into your ears because they wouldn't take the time to clean up the sound. That meant that the product was unable to handle really complicated background noise scenarios as well as other market leaders. Widex is trying to split the difference here. They're trying to keep an extremely minimalist engineering approach and keep that speed really fast, but add in some background noise cleanup, some sudden sound cleanup, some wind noise cleanup to make your overall listening experience a little bit easier. The technical name for the feature set that they added is called Speech Enhancer Pro, and essentially it's a filter. As the sound comes in, it cleans it up very quickly, and then it delivers it straight to your ears. Now, along with the launch, Widex did a survey of users and asked whether folks preferred the old version or the new version. Over 95% said that they preferred the new version. And I was curious to see if this would hold up in my own experiments. And I've had a chance to wear the last pair of the Widex Smart RIC hearing aids, and I actually did notice a difference in the ability for these hearing aids to manage things like sudden sounds. Imagine I set a mug down or I close a door quickly. This product has a bit more sophistication in shutting down that background noise and giving me an overall cleaner and clearer sound. That said, the listening experience is still quite minimal. So Widex is still letting in more sound than what you might expect from Resound Vivia or the new Phonak Infinio. These products are doing a lot of engineering to make the sound a little bit clearer, or remove background noise, strip things away, rebuild the sound, and then deliver it to you. Widex does not take the time for that. They simply deliver it instantaneously to your ears with just a little bit of cleanup. Now, it's interesting, when I put this product on to begin my testing, I initially felt like I was noticing a lot of the artifact, a lot of the extra sounds in the environment. But after just a few minutes, I started to become used to it, and I really was appreciating the more natural sound that comes through Widex. I went to an amazing instrumental concert where there was a lot of guitar and percussion and a lot of sounds that I really wanted to be able to capture and hold on to. So I wore my Widex hearing aids and I played around with the different settings inside the app to see what would give me the best fidelity and the cleanest, truest sound of what I was actually listening to. And what I noticed is that the standard programs that come with Widex Allure did a good job of cleaning things up and bringing the music to my ears, but I could sense a little bit of distortion. Where I really had an amazing experience was when I shifted into PureSound. And this is where I've spent most of my time as I've been trying this product. I've been in the PureSound settings. Now, PureSound historically is sort of the most minimalist setting that Widex has, but because of their faster chip, they've been able to add some enhancements to PureSound, some management of background noise and sudden sounds without really altering the kind of acoustics of what you're actually hearing. This became really obvious at the concert. I would shift into a standard program and immediately I'd want to shift back into PureSound. Interestingly, I even shifted into the music program, which my audiologist had set up, and I preferred PureSound over the music program, which let in even more. So what I came away from this experience feeling is that Widex has really stuck with their ethos. Their sound is extremely minimal. You get that pure, clean sound of what you're actually hearing around you, and it's not very over-engineered. As a result, you do hear more background noise than you would hear from some of the other top competitors, but the experience as I've been wearing the product more and more has really grown on me, and I can see why Widex wearers often stick with the brand for a really long time. So where do I think this product fits in the overall prescription premium hearing health landscape? I would say that Widex is a fantastic choice for anyone who is truly an audiophile, wants that purity and clarity, does not like the feeling of hearing aids re-engineering or changing the soundscape around them. If you are a musician or you really enjoy listening to live music, not streamed music into your ears, Widex is definitely a brand you should consider. It has the basic features covered. It's rechargeable, it streams Bluetooth, it has a discrete size, it's comfortable, but really it's the fidelity that you're going to get through this product that makes it special. So while I wouldn't call it a niche product, because I think it could work well for many folks, it is a product that I would recommend to a specific type of person. Now, if you're looking for just a general workhorse hearing aid, you might consider the sister brand to Widex, which is owned by the same parent company, Signia Pure Charge and Go. To me, that has a wider set of just overall solid features. It has the portable battery, maybe a little more aggressive sound management, and some other features that are a bit beyond what Widex offers. But if you're really looking for just that pure sound fidelity, Widex is definitely worth a try. Okay, so before we wrap up, as promised, let me take you through the smartphone app. This is a space that Widex has rebuilt for the consumer experience. So they've changed some things about the app, how you access your programs, some of the things that are available. Let's take a closer look. Okay, you're looking at the Widex Allure app. Right here up at the top is where you'll control your programs. You can see I'm in PureSound. You can go into Universal or into a music program. These will all be set by your audiologist. In my case, as I mentioned, I'm enjoying PureSound. Then you can manage the volume of the hearing aids down here at the bottom. You can save that. You can, of course, split your left and right if you want to and mirror them. And then there are a couple of other options available. If you go to more, you can find your hearing aids. It'll show you actually where they're at on a map, which can be helpful if you lose one of your devices. You can also go into the hearing aid settings and turn on call control, which will allow you to use tap control. So if you tap your hearing aids, it'll pick up a phone call. Pretty straightforward app. Mostly I've been using this to control the program and the volume that I'm in. All right, that's it for the Widex Allure. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have questions or want to see other options available on the market, head over to soundly.com. We review over-the-counter hearing aids, all the prescription leaders, and we're there to talk to you if you have any questions. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you over there.